streaming. That's the way I know how to do it, right? I go straight public like that. Boom. That's cool. Straight public. Like, boom. Cool. Yes, yes, yes. And we should be going to this one. This should be going to this one. Oh, wait. There we go. Too many buttons. Too many buttons. This is my Tuesdays with patrons stream. I'm just going to quickly copy this video link to my Patreon page. If you are unfamiliar with Patreon, this is how you support the channel. There you go. And I try as much as possible every week to, I guess I will tweet that. Yes, of course. Twitter thing. Yeah, I want to do that. Tweet. There it is. Accept all cookies. Like that. Right. Gee, I'm gonna open. There's my Patreon page. Yeah, so Patreon's a way to support me and support the channel. So if you want to become my patron, on Tuesdays I post on Patreon and I make as many efforts to say hello and thank you to my patrons, which I will do right now. Special thanks to Petrina Burkan. She's a new patron. Thank you for your support. Lisa Del Grande, thank you for your support. There's Julia from Mexico. Muchas gracias. We have Dionisi Dituanyi. Sorry, I don't know. It's messed up your name. Thank you for your support. Frank Nichols, thank you for your support. Galen Townsend, thank you for your support. These are my patrons on Patreon. Alex Van H, thank you for your continued support. David Casey, thank you for your support. And let's see who, we have other ones. These are all my current patrons, yes? We have John Seddon, thank you for your support. And we also have other Frank. So thank you for your support twice. Nana, thank you. Pam Nicodem, thank you. Elizabeth Cottam, thank you for your support. Another Dimitrios Theologetis, thank you for your support. Alex, thank you. Beth Abels, thank you for support and participation in my group, in my studio. Mark Harris, thank you for your continued support. If you want anything you want, Mark Harris, please give me a email and I will they'll do something for you. Been a long time supporter of the channel. Kate Popish, same thing for you. I will gladly make something special for you. Request Katie Popish, thank you for your long time support. Laurie Spire, thank you for your long time support since 2019. Gianna Smith, thank you for your continued support. You have been supporting since 2018. Of course, my good friend Henner Zeller with the pie. Thank you, Henner, for all your support and friendship throughout the years. So yes, this is what I do. I go on to the Patreon page and make a post, and if anybody would like to make a contribution or something, then I certainly have not done this really ever, but so I will primarily be paying attention to that right there. Now, I also typically are I am on I do this on a different platform. I do this on Twitter. I mean, not Twitter, but Twitch. So if you look up Cello Coach on Twitch, and I am streaming on Twitch, well, I will stream right at the 1 hour mark here. I'll stream away from YouTube, Twitch. what I'm doing right now is I am doing this. I am doing some live edits of some videos I recently made while on the road, and ever have wanted to see me do these sort of things. That's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm making my videos, and you're able to see all of the sort of the back office stuff. That's why I do this on Twitch, and I'll be doing other things on Twitch. Of course, here on the YouTube channel, I like to keep things, question and answer, and answer your questions, things like that. And I do want to talk about a certain thing that came up over my most recent travels, and that was to Mondo Musica. I hope my sound is coming in good because I did some arrangements on the sounds, and I hope it's coming in great. And we did some efforts in making it sound as good as possible. Anyway, so and I'm going to come to here. Right. So hello if you're watching. Hello. Hello to everyone. And thank you to my patrons. Hello, Martin. Mooninghoff. So yes, I'm here on my channel just saying hello. Hello, everyone. And I'm going to, again, do my best efforts to make at least one live stream a week on a Tuesday if it's starting on this YouTube platform, and then Twitch. And the reason why I'm going to Twitch is because very different what I'm going to be experimenting with on Twitch. And it's kind of a place to hang out and get to know each other if you want to get to know how I do these videos. And so I'm going to be sharing some of the secrets of how I do this this particular video. But before I get into that, so the title of the stream today, to keep on subject, is playing versus entertaining versus presenting, plus editing videos live. Of course, Tuesdays with patrons, October 4th, 2022. Right, so what is entertaining versus presenting versus playing? And I'm going to show this in video format and in a cello coach talk in the very short future. I was at the Mondo Musica, and I had the great opportunity to play some beautiful cellos made by Stefano Trabucchi, by Pasquale Sardone, by Daniele. Forget your last name, Daniele. Sorry. Also by Diego Taje, a wonderful luthier from Sardinia, which was a fantastic 5-string cello. I played a cello from the Czech Republic that was a 3D printed cello. Fantastic innovation coming out of the Czech Republic there. And of course, it was a special, opportunity to play these instruments. And of course, I met Bernd Musing, the maker of Arcus Bowings. It was a good trip. It was definitely a good fair to go to. Very good time to be back in the swing of things, especially after pandemic. So when I went there, my whole intent was simply to play the instruments. That was it. I had no intent to do anything else. I just wanted to play. And I recently watched a video on YouTube which, sort of highlighted what was happening in our minds, and my mind too, of course, when you kind of think of those divisions between playing music, entertaining with music, and then presenting your music. I'm going to reiterate that. You are playing music, you are entertaining with music, and you are presenting your music or your project. And it's 3 different ideas when it comes to playing on cello, cello in general. I experienced this during the fair. So I went in there with the full intent of simply experiencing and playing these wonderful instruments of these luthiers I've come to know and appreciate very much, which you will see on the channel shortly. So I walked into their booth, said hello, especially to Stefan Trabucchi, which is a amazing, really highly respected luthier there in Cremona. I like him a lot. He makes exquisite, beautiful instruments. I almost bought his instrument. That's how close I was. You would be seeing me make videos with Stefano instead of Edgar Rus. But I was lucky to get Edgar Rus cello, but I still was so close buying a Stefano Trabucchi instrument. So check him out. Anyway, I went into his booth, played his instruments, had some recordings done, had, my friend filming me and all that good stuff. And it was fun. It was fun. I had no pressure at all. Then I went to the next booth and did the same thing. And I finally found one of persons I had known for quite a while, Daniele. And Daniele is a respected luthier born in Cremona, and he had finally had a cello ready for me to play, one of his cellos. Last time I visited him in 2021, he had a apprentice cello, but this was an actual master cello he had made, part of a quartet he had dedicated to his family. And so I felt a little more need to, I guess, present and less play. And so there was a different psychology going on in my mind at that time, but still, I was still there just to play and enjoy myself. Then I went to the next booth, and this is where things got interesting. I went to a booth next to the Czech Republic booth, my cello booth, which was interesting. They knew me from the channel, which was wonderful. Watching, hello to everyone, my cello, love your innovation there. But I went to a luthier I've always passed many, many, many times, every time, and he had a very particular name, Taje or Taje. And I was like, I gotta play this guy's instrument. He just standing there quietly. So I said, well, I have to play your cello. So I played his cello, and it was really nice to play. It was enjoyable to play. And so I went between sort of this idea of just playing it to, I kind of got a little crowd around me because I kept playing it. And when you are playing instruments, there are some instruments, as I told Diego, that ask you to play longer. You just play them to go, would you play me longer? And I played his cello longer. It's just something you cannot predict until you are actually playing someone's instrument. And I played instruments that are more expensive, more instruments from more reputable, more experienced, if you will, luthiers. But his cello, for me, I liked. And so I was just playing it. But at one point, people started to sort of like watch me in my zone and pull out their cameras. And so at one point, I went from just playing to entertaining. And that's when our nerves sort of get into a little bit. And lucky for me, I've been able to internalize my nerves, or my anxiousness, if you will, when I play. And I just sweat. That's my sort of real, like, you notice, by the way, when our performers, when they sweat, it's that anxiousness. We sort of like channel that into like the desire to do good, and it comes out as perspiration on a lot of us. So we don't sweat on our fingertips, we don't get shakes, but our body has to do something. So a lot of us have learned, I learned many years ago, to channel this desire to do so well into perspiration. So I perspired, but I totally enjoyed myself. On to the next booth I went to, which was a gentleman from Sardinia, a young gentleman, and he was interesting. You'll see him in the upcoming video. He was so happy to meet me. He was a fan of my channel, which was very thankful, very much. A very tiny channel with a very small group of people following me. But you guys like it, and I appreciate it, and I continue to do this stuff. But he was aware of me, and not only was he very happy to see me, but he also said, oh, I want this you to play my luthier's cello. It's a 5-string cello from Sardinia. He had a stutter, and so even though he was speaking a language that not his, maternal Italian, and he had a stutter, he really wanted to meet me. I really felt his positive energy. I wish I got his name. So I went to his booth, and I wanted him to play something on it. So I played a little bit on it. I felt I was more presenting at that point because people wanted to hear me play it. But I wasn't fully understanding this, because when you play a 5-string cello with an E string, your mind starts to rethink fingerings and definitely bow technique. I have experience playing 5-string cellos because this one here, boop, boop, this one here, that's a 5-string cello. So once you get in the mode, you cannot hitting 2 strings. It's all good. What happened was I then asked him, hey, could you play this? You're clearly more skilled at playing the 5-string cello than I am and more experienced. So his hands were shaking and he was all full of anxiousness. And I think he just wanted to, to present it so well. And I think when you present something like you do for your teacher says, okay, play. Your teacher's wanting to present your work, but at the same time, play, at the same time entertain, which is an interesting combination of 3 things that you're doing with your teacher, with your friends, family, with your pets. You are doing 1, 2, or sometimes all 3 of these. You play, you entertain, and you present. And so he played quite nicely. I liked the song he played. And then I said, well, I'll have to get this on video. Can you do it again? And he says, well, I don't think I can, because his hands and fingertips were sweating and everything, and he played lovely. I'm like, and I calmed down and got on my knees and like, just calm down. And I didn't say that to him, but I made him feel calm and just asked us, you can do it again. It sounded wonderful. And at that point, even though he felt that he couldn't do it, and he said so, he vocalized it, he moved from presenting to sort of playing for me, not entertaining me, not trying to show off, but he just played. And I really enjoyed that moment. I caught it on camera and it was really nice, and he actually played better than the first time. So, and had my camera in his face and that. It was good. Later on, shortly after that, Diego said, could you please come back to my booth since you enjoyed my cello so much? I have a prospective buyer here. You play my cello for her. At that point, I wasn't playing, I wasn't entertaining, I was presenting. I was presenting this cello. And a different psychology comes into mind for me. It's different for different people. When you want to, and for me, it's like sales mode. Like, so you need to show the instrument in all of its glory. I'm not entertaining, and I'm not, just playing. I think when you play, it's a different site. They're all 3 different. Think about them as you continue along your journey of discovery. So I went into my presentation mode, and this I just totally I fall into my groove, and it's much less didactic, and it's much less exploratory. It's very just, let's make this cello sound as good as I can. And I thought I did an okay presentation, and closed out my eyes, and of course she was smiling ear to ear, and Diego was happy, and I went about my merry way. So what's interesting about that last, that half hour of going to different booths and playing these instruments and filming myself, and then finally getting to Pasquale Sardone's booth as well and playing his instrument, finally having a chance to play his instrument, I was totally relaxed. I had no need to entertain or present. I just wanted to play. And most of the videos that you're going to see from Mondo Musica 2022 is a product of me simply playing cellos. And I just want to enjoy them. These are luthiers that I've come to know, be acquainted with, and respect. And I was really in the mode to simply enjoy their instruments. And so, yeah, I just want to share that with you. You'll see it on the channel. You'll see these videos. So I'm referencing this future video coming up concerning playing versus entertaining. So that's it. That's all I have to say about this. Of course, if you want to ask questions, there's always questions to ask. You guys always have questions to ask me. And yeah, I hope the sound is sounding good. I'm using a filter on the microphone right here. Of course, I'm not playing. I guess a little bit of an update on my side. Surgery-wise, my surgery is doing much better. So, my recovery is better. Of this hello, bad Kamya. So the surgery is really coming to, so I'm really good on that. Um, Truth be told, again, this particular ailment has been incredibly emotional for me. Very, very, very emotional. And the thought of not being able just to play cello became very dark thoughts, to very, very dark thoughts for me earlier this year. And so thoughts I won't dive into um, publicly, but I just want to reiterate to anyone, if you have been going through any sort of mental health challenges, address them. You have to address them because they can come up when you least or even expect them, and they can become a problem. Secondly, if you have a problem concerning your body and the cello, and something has caused you pain, you really have to look into how to find a solution for that if you want to continue playing the instrument. It's a great instrument, but there are certain limitations that will come to you physically if you, and certain ways you can injure yourself, like I did. So this is going much better. It was the Legend of Zelda song on Tom Play, so that song is really fun to play. But at the same time, it broke my finger, and I don't know if I shown you this before, but the well, Tom Play is a great app that has all sorts of music in it. There we go. It was the intermediate advanced here. Sometimes it's silly difficult. Here it is. It's this one right. So I was playing this song, exactly this song right here. Oops. I was playing this song exactly right here. And it was Zelda. And it was, yep, it was that one right there, the intermediate. And it really came down to this ending part right here, which I was really getting into. It was after 25, measure 26, doodly ding, doodly ding, right there, and going in between this octave. And let me tell you, I will be very happy to replay that music in the foreseeable future on my 7-inch cello. I played this passage on my full-size cello and broke my finger. It was there, it was right here. Ding, 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 and it was just jumping, jumping back these octaves right here. If you play cello, which presumably you do because you're on the channel, playing the octave between the C and the C, last finger, the first position, and fourth finger in the fourth position, that octave is like how you size your hand. You should be able to play that. It was a struggle on the full size cello for me, but easier on my my 7/8. So yeah, it was this I think it was this exact measure right here. Dun 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 dun. This right here was going in between. At one point, I heard a crack, and it was the most painful moment ever in cello playing in my life. Heaven. Legend of Zelda, a video game song. That was broke my hand. Yes, Jesper Devan. Hello, thank you for joining the chat. Yes, I also can. Well, I wasn't able to play for 2 months. I was able to teach but not play for 2 months. And then after my surgery, I wasn't able to play necessarily for. But as I put on the channel with the diagnosis and then first day of recovery and updates to that, having trigger finger is one thing that I think I've gotten a second chance at playing cello, and that's why I've gotten bucket list on my channel on my Patreon page. Got a list of my songs, right here, my bucket list. And so songs that I need to be able to play, to perform, present, before I keel over. So it's not a long list. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 songs. I want to get them out of the way. If you're interested, and if you're not part of my Patreon, then you go on my Patreon page and you can see what the bucket list is. Join for $2 a month. Support the channel. Or you can also support directly as well by other places. Hello, RMS. We have a question. Varsity player, varsity orchestra. I like that. I'm having trouble counting in string crossing because the other strings keep playing. I don't anticipate it. Can we talk? Sure. Talk. Again, what would be great with a lot of these questions is if you have been playing cello for a while and you are, I guess, hitting other strings, keep playing when I don't anticipate. What's interesting about what RMS is talking about, when the strings keep playing when I do not anticipate it. Now, a string doesn't play per se itself unless it's sympathetic vibrations. So if you're really playing in tune, which is a great thing, and you're playing, let's say, a G on the D string, and you are well in tune, your open G string will vibrate. So that's the overtones or the sympathetic tuning that your instrument is going through. It shows you have a quality instrument, and it shows you're in tune. Good. But at the same time, let's say you're playing the D on the G string in 4th position, and then the open D, it's unison, so it's definitely. That will also cause significant sympathetic. Sometimes you have to sort of, silence those notes if you're in a studio recording, like what I'm here right now. But in an orchestra, I don't think you would have much of that problem, unless, of course, you're doing a solo. Playing solos and playing in studios is a different style of playing, especially studios, because sometimes you have to silence the other string to get the melody out, and you have this technique of silencing the other strings for it to do videos a lot. So yes, I primarily shift when I play, but this mostly happens when I'm playing anywhere from tempo 170 to 100. So what's interesting is here's the question of strings, again, vibrating, but also now we're adding the variable of tempo. Quicker things get. Think about it, and everyone can think about it when they're watching. The quicker music gets, what is more of the challenge to do? The bow or the left hand? Let's take it to 120, 140, 160. The faster music is, where should your active focus be in the moment of playing? Should it be on the bow, on the left hand, or on the score? And that's now already, if you said the third one, then that should be you are in need of revision, because the faster music gets, you can't read the notes. The notes are going too quick. So your notes need to be completely internalized left-hand style. The faster the notes get, slower the notes get, you can think about, you can think a lot more. You have more, I guess, samples time to think. But the faster those notes get, the coordination between the two hands needs to be 100%. And because the bow is a music maker, then this hand needs to be automatic. Your shifts, your spaces, your extensions, your fingerings, that needs to be solid in just one thing. So you can concentrate on the bow. All quick players, when they're playing quickly, violinists are great because you can see them actually look at their hand as they do it. What are they doing? Are they looking at the bow, or are they looking at their fingers? Put on the video of a violinist playing and watch them play. Are they looking at their left hand as they play slowly, or quickly, or are they bow as they do? Or are they sort of focused on the general amount of everything? And what you're going to realize, RMS and other people, and on the channel, going to talk about this more and more and more, is you're not necessarily focused on the bowing only. You're not focused on the left hand only. You are focused kinesthetically on everything. You have a soft gaze. And the last thing your brain's going to do is think about the score. I agree with that. I definitely need to do that. I'm a cello player who heavily struggles. I can hardly tell the notes. In C, RMS, that's where it is your challenge. All music that we play, well, most music that we play needs to be internalized, because you are constantly making sound with your bow, which I don't have my teaching bow with me. But your bow is like, imagining if you're breathing out constantly, breathing in, and you have no chance to stop. Your bow is that constant breath of air. So all, people like go, and they make filler between their words, which I really dislike. You probably noticed on the channel, I don't do filler, all the smacking of lips stuff and all that. That's filler. Those are artifacts, and that shows that you don't know how to properly speak in front of a microphone. Playing cello is having all of that stuff available for sound because your bow is moving. You can stop your bow, of course, and stop that sound. But you're going to have to concentrate so much more focused on the movement of the bow and the movement of the left hand, and less upon the score. And I'll bring up a score right now that's one that is a fantastic score, and you really learn this. It's on my list. This is a score that I really enjoy to play. This is the Popper Etude number 1, and it's jumping up all over the place. I put my fingerings in here. I've really enjoyed it. But you cannot play this at speed. Allegro molto moderato. You cannot play a song like this at speed looking at the notes. Everything's internalized because you're thinking of the shifts and the shape of the hand. And because of the particular piece is so very all the bits are very all in the same place, and you're playing all very technical stuff. A song like this, Popper Etudes, they're really trained the left hand to do different shapes. But at the end of the day, how they make those shapes sound good is still in the bow. Gotta make the bow. 80% of what you do on cello is bowing. 80%. 80%. It's not 20%, it's 80%. And when you're in the moment, the better the bow control you have, the better tone you have, the better then you're going to be. I've asked this of my students in the past of like, what are the 5, since you're an orchestra player, what are the 5 most important things to control for as a cello sectional player, someone that plays in a group, in an ensemble cellist? Think about them. And when you think about them, you can answer them on your own RMS and anyone else watching this. But I will definitely make a video for that in the foreseeable future. What are the 5 most important things that an ensemble cello player must control for in an ensemble? Remember, you're in an ensemble, so there's multiple. There's 10 of you, 5 of you, multiples of you. It's different, maybe, for playing in a quartet, which is 1 of you. It's different significantly when you're playing solo with a piano player. And it's different when you're playing, not significantly, but different when you're playing, of course, unaccompanied. When you play it as an ensemble cellist, your priorities are different because you have other people around you. So think about that. And one day I'll make a video dedicated to that, even a live stream. Looks like we're getting some good things. Just want to say absolutely videos. They really helped me. They've been since 2020. It helped me heavily with my shifting. Glad to help you with your shifting RMS. Due to my hands being really bony, there's a part of the problem because I play with my fingers flat instead of curved. I'm going to try to get into concert orchestra next year. continue with my previous message. Is there a way to get lessons from you? I felt for you is by far the best teacher I've ever seen for cello. RMS, find me on my website, jonathanhumphries.com. Send me an email. I teach online. You get all these. Well, you're not going to see all of them because some of it's black. But I do multiple angles. I use great microphones. I use electric cellos. I do my best to be as inspiring as possible. So please send me an email. We can arrange something. And for anyone out there who wants to take cello lessons, send me an email. We'll start discussing. We can set up a free chat. I'll talk about what it takes to become my student online. You can join from anywhere in the world. I'm opening up actually Sundays now. Every single day I'll be teaching. And I want you all to have access to something that it's been difficult for many of you to do, in the sense where get quality instruction from somebody that won't judge you, that will be with you every step of the way, that will work with your pace, that will tailor to your needs. And if I had the chance to have someone with this quality of sound, all these instruments, and be able to push a button on my phone, because that's all you kind of need, put it on my music stand, and just, I'm like you, RMS, I'm like working on pieces. I can't get through it. Is there something? I've done this for 34 years. I've taught cello for 26 years, 28 years. And I started at a young age at 17. And if one thing I'm a master at is fingerings. I can definitely say I'm a master at putting fingerings. I can put fingerings down that professionals next to me have changed their fingerings on the spot. So I'm proud of the fact that I have dived really deep into that. I'm working more now on helping my students learn intonation and other bow techniques as well. So my bow technique teaching pedagogy is increasing. Yeah, yes, definitely, RMS. And that's the thing. Having a live in-person teacher, whether it's your orchestra teacher or your personal, private lesson teacher, my pedagogy will never go against what you're already learning with your in-person. I have a different level of patience and concentration on different things. And a lot of my students supplement their in-person live lessons with their online lessons with me. And sometimes they leave their in-person teacher, and sometimes they stay with me primarily. Sometimes they just use me for it temporarily and go about with their personal teacher. The thing about teaching cello is it's not a competition. We're all cellists. We're all here to make beautiful music together and enjoy this journey together. And so I will always supplement the type of learning that you are getting. I'll give you different ideas, different approaches, but never go against the grain of what you're learning from your current professor. I'm all very respectful of that and have been my entire life. 5th grade, okay. Varsity now, 2020, junior year. I'm still a year and a half behind in my skill sets. Well, and a lot of us, like you in the United States, have learned the instrument at around that time, and that's actually really wonderful to do. So behind in your skill sets, well, I'm presuming you're maybe around 15, 16 years old, and you want to, what do you want to do with your life? Do you want to continue playing cello for the rest of your life? Do you want to just enjoy playing cello in high school and then move on to something else? It really doesn't matter. What is most possibly happening is the fact that as a youngster in this day and age, there are so many different opportunities in front of you. Kind of don't know what to do. I recently, RMS and anyone else, since we're kind of having our own conversation here, but I recently went to my high school this year in Houston, Texas, and I did a master class to the sophomores, juniors, and freshmen, more the underclassmen there. And I asked them, what do you want to do? These are students highly skilled at a performing arts high school in a major metropolitan city, born in your generation. And I asked them, what inspires you? What do you want to do? And I reiterated to them that of my graduating class of the same high school 24 years prior, how many of us are actually still playing our instrument and making money from it? Those are two things. How many of us have made a living not out of our passion? About 2% of us. And that's from a performing arts high school. A lot of them have completely forgotten about it. But that's okay. A lot of them have kept it on the side. Some have rediscovered it over time. And that's okay too. But for those of us that had continued to play it 24 years later, hopefully it gave them inspirations. When I asked the students, again, 15, 16 years old, 14, 15, 16-year-old students, what inspires you? Why do you play cello? Is there a song out there that you're working on? And all 12 of them sort of sat and they performed pieces and they showed me what really inspired them. What was interesting is most of them were interested in songs and video games and anime and movies and television and Netflix shows and things they heard on YouTube and TikTok and whatever. And so all these other worlds came into focus. You know, so one student said, I really like the music of Hollow Knight and I want to get into playing into music like that. And I was just so amazed by the variety of inspiration. There were the traditional, I'm inspired to play Bach, I'm inspired to play Schumann. Of course, they were all in, I'm inspired to play Popper, which would have been, you know, a very typical answer of someone there at PVA. The majority of the students, again, I'm like 5 out of 6 students did not say your typical answers. They were all about things outside of the classical music realm. So, you know, moving on to the next stage of your life, you're a junior, you're going to be students like you are going to be have a lot of things in front of you. My niece is a junior. You have the whole world ahead of you, but keeping cello, continuing going, because a lot of people will give up. A lot of people are going to give up and stop right at graduation. And then some will continue. Some will get better. And some will not, because they will stop playing. So are you behind? Or is your passion to continue on throughout the rest of your life? See, Josh Groban. That's a singer-songwriter. Yeah. And so, and that's the thing. Interesting. Well, I've never been to Minnesota. I used to have family there. And yeah, that's a thing. As you should just keep like it's a great thing. All the students around these days, all these people these days are inspired by different, really inspired by completely different things. So, right, it's been, how long has it been? How have I been on? It's usually like a ticker. Oh, 42 minutes. So again, at the hour mark, I'm stop doing my thing and move to Twitch. That's right. The older people don't know. I love Josh Gordon. I can play some of his songs. Most popularly, "You Raise Me Up." And again, what's great about here we have a viewer which is really loving this. So, "You Raise Me Up." Have I ever played "You Raise Me Up"? And I'm gonna see if this is available. Now, what I'm doing right now is I've gone to MuseScore. And if you're not familiar with MuseScore, it's one of my little secrets. I guess since it's a live editing, then I'll show you what I'm doing here. So MuseScore, if you're unfamiliar with it, it is an open source sort of platform. And I found Josh Groban, "You Raise Me Up" for piano. You won't be able to hear it. But Mac works. So yes, if you are familiar with MuseScore, what I just did, use MuseScore and Smart Music. See, there you go. it's a wonderful world to be just learning music. It is so wonderful. If I had music score growing up, I'd just be like so much. So you can take this cello track, I mean, excuse me, this particular track here, and you can download it. You can eliminate the whole treble clef. You can then, or just sort of convert it into a bass clef, and then learn the track through your bass clef. Yeah, and you can then play this song. And looks like there's many versions. There's one for solo violin. There's a whole bunch. There's probably one for cello because it seems to be there's solo. There's duets in here. So I've discovered that I don't know anything. Apparently, this person's really popular. Oh my gosh, a lot of people like this song. A lot of people with contra cello. Look at that. Somebody with the name Jasa. Cello quartet. There you go. Have a violin. Lots of wonderful opportunities out there. The Muse score is the best. I'm gonna even type that in. Muse score is best. It is a free thing. Yeah, Josh Groban. I think I know who this guy looks like. Josh Groban. I think he's the guy with the this guy. Yes, he got popular like he's my age, by the way. He got popular years ago in the late 90s, early 2000s with some music that was popular back then. Yeah, really pretty stuff. Really pretty stuff. You Raised Me Up 2003. There you go. Yeah. So, good stuff. Really pretty stuff. I think his voice would be really nice. So, anything else? So yeah, I teach on Skype, and I'm going to start getting my Twitch together and trying to. I think I haven't stopped streaming on Twitch on my stream. I'm such a rookie at streaming on Twitch that I'm glad I have no fans out there. Zero. But anyway, it's been great talking to you, RMS. Just send me an email. Wow, you're definitely a little addicted to it. It's my email is jh@jonathanhumphries.com. Right in here. That's me, or cello cook. And that's so playing, entertaining, and presenting, and now editing videos live. So let's go to my video editor. And so what do I have to show you today? Scene 2 is this is me having fun on a boat, speedboat, in none other than Venice. And it was lots of fun doing this because I had, by the way, you want to know if I'm really playing? I'm really playing. Yep. So yeah, I was absolutely having a blast playing online. I'm playing online. Excuse me. Hi, my puppy. My puppy has woken up. And you know, when the puppy wakes up, that will be time for me to end the stream very soon because my puppy is so quiet. Come here, baby girl. So yeah, this is a product of one of my nearest creations that I'll be making, and it's lots of fun doing these videos. And when I go live and I'm out there in on scene, I really record what I'm doing, sounds, and so I'm going underneath the bridges of oh, what's happened? There we go. I'm going underneath the bridges and throughout the canals of Venice in this boat, and I'm have my cello hooked up to a speaker, and I'm really playing it. A lot of times, people will play, not you won't hear them what they're playing, and I'm really playing out there, so it's I like to do that. Okay, yes. Hello, John. Nice to meet you. And we have a Jonathan Walls. Hello, Jonathan Walls. Have you ever played a carbon fiber cello? Yes, I have, Jonathan. Yes, I have. And the carbon fiber cello is a fantastic, fantastic instrument. I really like them. Will I ever want to have one? I felt the need to have that type of instrument, sure. There are different types of carbon fiber instruments. There's ones that are fully carbon fiber, like the Lewis and Clark, of about 12,000 American dollars, and there are the ones that are have parts on them that are all of them have bridges, by the way, wooden bridges. But the one, the ones that is one's in Germany, I believe, and the German one has a fingerboard. It's like a carton that's made of some sort of composite or probably all ebony. Those are interesting. So, I want my full opinion about the carbon fiber instrument. They are robust. They are great for performing. Fantastic for performing. I have some old colleagues in America that play them and they tour with them, so they really like playing them. They're not for me. I play electric cello, and electric cello is not for them. But they're cool looking. I can only recommend Lewis and Clark, and the reason is because if you're going to play carbon fiber, might as well do it all the way. Problem is, over time, that resin will wear down. So over time, the resin will wear down, and that's why some people prefer one with the fingerboard over the Lewis and Clark that has a lot of resin. You'll notice if you look up the Arcus Boeing website, they use a lot less resin. So the amount of resin used in carbon fiber instruments may lend it to being a problem in the 10-15 mark. Yeah, you can find them, Jonathan, online, and I believe the people at Lewis and Clark will be happy to arrange for a luthier. You're in Atlanta, so Atlanta is a really good place for a lot of music. They have a ballet. I have some students there. You'll find one. You'll definitely find one. You just have to look around. You're in one of the hub of creative arts there in Atlanta, Georgia, and so you'll find one. But Lewis and Clark will arrange for at least one luthier to have one, so you can go and demo it there. If you want to know if I'm using, hello, Martin. I am not using MuseScore for iPad. I find the OS to be bad. If you want to know what I'm using particularly on my iPad, I simply use Forcore, Forcore. That's what I use for this here iPad. I'll go back. Oh, excuse me. This is what I use. It's Fourscore. That's what I use for my iPad. I've been using it for 11 years now. Started using it in 2011. I made the change over to PDFs. And that is a fantastic app. So if you have an iPad, try MuseScore. I mean, Fourscore. Fourscore for iPad. MuseScore for the computer. That's what it is. You're welcome. You're welcome, Jonathan Martin. And with that, with the puppy, which is here in my hand, and she's okay, I'll check. A lot of times when yes, hello, I got you. Very nice. Definitely got it. Yes, we are good. We are good. I got you, John Peterson. Yes. I got you. I've taught people from your time zone, so you're in the same time zone as my sister, which is 7 hours from France. So with that said, I'm going to walk the puppy, which is right here. She has been quiet, and she is the mascot of the studio. Her name is Mochi. And I want to thank everyone. Jonathan, Martin, of course, my earlier John, so John and Martin. John, Jonathan, Martin, Bad, Sule, and for stopping on by during your busy day and watching here on the channel. And really appreciate everybody. Very nice to email, CC my dad at orchestra, so they're all in it. Okay, good. Thanks, John. I look forward to helping you get closer. Now is a good time with the fall semester starting to seeing how we can hit the ground running. Usually I tell anyone joining the studio 90-day project. 90 days is Christmas. Before you know it, bam, you're in Christmas. A lot of stuff to learn, and if you want to audition for varsity, it's probably going to happen, or the next level, probably going to happen right after the new year. They're going to be we want to impress because there's certain things they're going to expect you to do. So look for orchestra excerpts that they're going to expect you to do, and certain different arpeggios and things like that, things that you're going to be expected to know on the fly. Of course, we can talk about that. I've been in the car all day. Good. Oh yes. So my puppy has been quiet, and for all of you who are supporting my channel, thank you. If you want to support me via Patreon, these are my streams for Patreon, so thank you once again to all my patrons. I will always support, help you guys out for as much help as you want. I know. Should stop talking. Okay, concert orchestra, Mr. Peterson. Let's have it. Let's make it happen. I've been using Scalebook with my teacher more than a year. It's been big help. Jonathan, I am going to make more of my Scalebook available. There's more things to work on, so I'm going to make it more. That's upcoming in this next 2 months. Finishing this, learning how to teach arpeggios, which I've been working on for such a long time. I've tried to make like 7-8 videos and they failed because of quality issues, not with the pedagogy. And then trying to explain in 9 minutes or less how to play tenor clef. So working on that. And for all of you who do watch, notice one thing. I make my pedagogy based upon the experience of teaching live. It's an ongoing pedagogy. So what works is taught on the channel, and what works is taught in Scalebook. Get yourself a Scalebook. Always making new ones. And with that, thank you everyone. My puppy says thank you. And I will see, for those of you who want to continue viewing, I'm going to be on Twitch. Cello Coach. Bam. Bye for now. Take care of yourself. And wherever you are in the world, thank you for sharing your time with me as you travel along your own journey of music discovery. Wait, whoa. Apparently, I got a question. Martin, since you have asked a question, I will answer it. I'm playing a cello. No, I'll answer you. Hold on, Martin. I saw you came in a little late. I'm playing a normal acoustic cello since 5 years. I'm 35 now. I'm playing for 3 years. Now I'm playing a Yamaha 10. What is your favorite electric cello? My favorite electric cello is the Steinberger cello. Hands down. Is the best. That's it. Talking more about that. Ciao, ciao.